As my colleagues on this committee and my constituents back in Colorado's 8th Congressional District know, I'm a strong advocate for all of the above energy because we have it all. 4% of U.S. crude comes out of my district, but we also have 1 and 2 wind generators are made in my district, some of the biggest solar projects, geothermal, battery, the last vestiges of what used to be nuclear generation in Colorado. So we need to have that because we know what the statistics say. We're going to need more power on the grid. I think it's 165 gigawatts more in the next 4 years than we currently generate right now. There's a right way to do wind and solar and variables, and unfortunately, what the ruling Democrats in my home state in Colorado have done is the absolute wrong way to do it, which is one-size-fits-all heavy-handed government mandates. They've declared war on coal and oil and gas production in pursuit of their truly unattainable net zero goals. And as states around the country have been investing in growing their generation, Colorado has actually declined in how much electricity they're producing. We made 2,000 gigawatt hours less electricity last year than the year before that. And as we all know, when the supply goes down, the costs go up. And so my first question, this is just going to be a yes-no question to the entire panel. Do state mandates that remove dispatchable energy from generation portfolios build more reliable and affordable grids or less reliable and affordable grids? So I guess yes is more reliable and no is it's less reliable. So yes or no question. We'll just start at the left.
I would say no.
No. It depends what you're replacing it with.
No.
Thank you. And Mr. Goggin, thank you for the answer. I just want to point you to a previous quote that you have, which is, quote, a diverse generation mix increases resilience, which I would assume includes oil, gas, coal?
It depends on what you have already. If you have a lot of that, then more diverse would be less of that. You'd be bringing in other things. It depends what you have.
So there's a place for oil, gas, and coal?
It depends on what you have on your generation mix. And if you have, some places
So if you have,
abundant hydro,
there's a place for oil, gas, and coal on that generation mix?
it depends on what resources you have.
Okay, well, I think a diverse generation mix includes oil, gas, and coal, so thank you for that. To Mr. Robb, NERC's long-term reliability assessment mentions the significant consequences of retiring fossil fuel generation at a pace that energy providers and the supply chain can't keep up with. In 2025, Colorado was responsible for retiring 10% of the country's dispatchable baseload power, despite producing only 2%, and actually, as we just heard, declining in producing 2% of the nation's power. And so my question to you, what impact does the premature retirement of coal plants and other baseload dispatchable energy like natural gas, what does that have on electricity costs for ratepayers?
So we don't do the economic analysis of what it means for rates, so be clear on that. But it doesn't bode well because we're replacing generally older depreciated assets and bringing on high fixed cost assets at a time of relatively high interest rates. So I can't do the math in terms of in my head as to whether it's higher or lower, but it's certainly putting pressure on affordability.
What about reliability? Can you speak to reliability?
I can definitely speak to reliability. The benefits of having what I call spinning mass generation, stuff that kind of generates power the old-fashioned way, from a reliability perspective based on the grid we have right now is absolutely essential. And one of the things that concerns us about the retirements is that we're losing spinning mass generation, and we're replacing it with power electronic-based generation that doesn't behave the same way.
Got it. That makes perfect sense to me because of what we've seen happen in Colorado. Fortunately, I have some statistics that I can mention about reliability. The ruling Democrats in Colorado and their drive for this net zero variable power only is going to cost our state $61 billion. That's not my statistic, that's the Colorado Energy Office's statistic. And we know that if utility providers have to go funnel $61 billion into these failed policies, they can't upgrade the grid, they can't invest in reliable generation. We've seen the results in Colorado. Just this week, we had to do our 4th power shutoff because we don't have a reliable grid in Colorado. Not the fault of the utilities, that's the fault of the mandates coming from the ruling state Democrats, and I'm out of time, so I will yield back to the chair.